Usha Chukwu, the wife of J.D. Vance, is all set to become the first Indian-origin Second Lady of the United States. Usha Chukwu Vance, the wife of J.D. Vance, is all set to become the first Indian-origin Second Lady of the United States. Everyone in Trump's circle stuck to a dark theme for Inauguration Day, but Usha did her own thing and went with bright pink bubblegum. All eyes were on the 2025 presidential inauguration stage, where a sea of dark suits and predictable fashion choices set a familiar scene, until one bold statement changed everything. When Usha Vance stepped out in a striking bubblegum pink ensemble, she didn't just break the political fashion rulebook, she sparked a nationwide conversation about power, intention, and the future of American politics. Usha Vance might be sending a message that she'll stand out from an entire political party in the coming years, but was this carefully orchestrated fashion moment more than just a style choice? The answer might surprise you. Let's decode how one woman's pink power play has everyone thinking the same thing. Born into a world where ambition meets opportunity, Usha Chukwu's journey to becoming America's most talked about Second Lady reads like a masterclass in quiet determination. Before that stunning pink statement at the 2025 inauguration captured global headlines, her path from San Diego to the steps of the Capitol was paved with intellectual rigor and cultural grace. But what shaped the woman who would dare to make such a bold fashion statement on one of America's most watched political stages? From the sun-drenched streets of San Diego, where she was born on January 6, 1986, Usha's story embodies the quintessential American dream with a remarkable twist. The daughter of Telugu-speaking Indian immigrants, she grew up in a household where excellence wasn't just encouraged, it was expected. While other children might have wilted under such expectations, young Usha flourished, developing the quiet confidence that would later turn heads in Washington's power corridors. Want to know what sets her apart from typical political spouses? The answer lies in her remarkable academic journey. Yale University became the stage where Usha's intellectual prowess truly began to shine. Earning her undergraduate degree summa cum laude wasn't just an achievement, it was a declaration of intent. But what makes her story particularly intriguing isn't just a prestigious degree, it's how she navigated the complexities of elite academic circles while maintaining strong connections to her cultural roots. This ability to bridge worlds would later prove invaluable in her political journey, culminating in that headline-making inauguration moment. Her time at Yale Law School wasn't just about legal studies, it was where destiny intervened. Meeting J.D. Vance, whose hillbilly elegy would later captivate America, might have seemed like an unlikely pairing on paper. Yet, their connection, forged in the pressure cooker of legal academia, would prove to be a partnership that would reshape American political dynamics. Their 2014 marriage wasn't just a union of hearts, it was a merging of diverse American experiences that would later influence their public image. But it's her professional achievements that truly set her apart from the typical political spouse narrative. Clerking for then-Judge Brett Kavanaugh and later for Chief Justice John Roberts, Usha demonstrated a legal mind that matched her growing public presence. At Munger, Tolley's and Olson in San Francisco, she didn't just practice law, she excelled in complex civil litigation, building a reputation for precision that would later be reflected in her carefully curated public appearances. Family life brought new dimensions to Usha's already multifaceted world. With 3 children, Ewan, 2017, Vic, 2020, and Mir Abel, 2021, she masterfully balanced the demands of motherhood with her role as a political spouse. But observers note something fascinating. Throughout these transitions, Usha maintained an unwavering sense of self that would ultimately culminate in that bold inauguration fashion choice. Could her ability to navigate multiple identities, attorney, mother, political spouse, cultural bridge builder, have been preparing her for this very moment? Perhaps most intriguing is how Usha's Hindu faith and Indian heritage have subtly influenced her public persona. In a political landscape often dominated by conventional narratives, her presence offers a fresh perspective on American leadership. Those who know her speak of a woman who moved effortlessly between traditions, much like she would later move between fashion choices, from understated elegance to that conversation-starting pink ensemble that has everyone talking. As this chapter of Usha's life evolves, we're about to discover how her journey from legal powerhouse to political spouse was marked by something equally fascinating, a masterful understanding of visual communication through fashion. But what makes her evolution from understated elegance to that show-stopping pink moment so intriguing? The answer lies in years of carefully calculated choices that no one saw coming. Long before that headline-making pink ensemble, Usha Vance was quietly mastering the art of political fashion, one carefully chosen outfit at a time. As J.D. Vance's star began to rise in the political firmament, observers started noticing something distinctive about his accomplished wife. She wasn't just dressing for the occasion, she was writing a visual story of her own. Subtle choices that now seem like breadcrumbs led to that stunning inauguration moment. During J.D. Vance's 2022 Senate campaign, Usha's wardrobe choices spoke volumes without saying a word. Remember that pivotal election night? While others opted for bold statements, she commanded attention in an elegantly tailored navy blue dress that whispered rather than shouted. The message was clear: here was a woman who understood the power of restraint. Social media buzzed with admiration for her classic approach, but looking back, were we missing the subtle hint of what was to come? Her evolution through the political ranks brought new dimensions to her style strategy. At campaign rallies, she favored structured blazers and practical footwear, choices that resonated with voters while maintaining an air of sophistication. A grey coat here, a subtle black glove there, each piece selected with the precision of a former Supreme Court clerk. But it was her ability to incorporate elements of her cultural heritage that truly set her apart. Those delicate bangles at the 2023 fundraiser weren't just accessories, they were a masterclass in cultural bridge building. The Washington scene brought new challenges and opportunities for sartorial expression. During a high-profile bipartisan dinner, Usha turned heads in a black midi dress paired with pearls, a look that drew comparisons to political style icons like Michelle Obama and Laura Bush. But while these women had blazed their own fashion trails, Usha was crafting something uniquely her own. Her choices began showing hints of boldness: an emerald green sheath dress at a DC gathering here, a striking neckline there. Were these subtle shifts preparing us for her pink power play? As her public role expanded, Usha maintained an impressive balance between tradition and modern sophistication. At community events and children's programs, she demonstrated an ability to pivot seamlessly between polished professional and approachable mother of three. Her cardigan and trouser combinations became a signature look, proving that relatability and elegance weren't mutually exclusive. But fashion insiders noticed something intriguing: beneath the seemingly simple choices lay a growing confidence, a willingness to push boundaries ever so slightly. Perhaps most telling were her appearances at formal political functions, where her understated elegance began drawing attention for its consistency and intention. Each outfit seemed chosen not just for the moment, but as part of a larger narrative, a narrative that, in retrospect, was building toward something bigger. As whispers about her husband's vice presidential prospects grew louder, Usha's fashion choices became increasingly assured. Though few could have predicted the pink statement that would soon have everyone talking, the clues were there all along, hidden in plain sight. As Usha's fashion evolution laid the groundwork for something extraordinary, the political world was about to witness how a single color choice could spark a nationwide conversation about power, identity, and the changing face of American politics. But to truly understand the impact of her pink statement, we need to explore why fashion in Washington's corridors of power has always been about so much more than just clothes. In the high-stakes theater of American politics, fashion isn't just about fabric and flair, it's a silent language that speaks volumes about power, intention, and the zeitgeist of an era. Long before Usha Vance's pink statement sent shockwaves through Washington, political fashion had been wielded as a tool for communication, influence, and sometimes even revolution. Some moments reverberate through history, while others fade into obscurity. The answer lies in understanding the delicate dance between style and substance in the political arena. First ladies have long understood this unspoken language. Take Michelle Obama's masterful use of emerging American designers, each choice a calculated statement about inclusivity and national pride. Or consider Melania Trump's headline-making "I really don't care, do you?" jacket, a moment that proved how fashion could dominate news cycles and spark national debates. Even Jackie Kennedy's iconic pink suit became more than just clothing, it transformed into a symbol of American tragedy and resilience. Each of these moments reminds us that in politics, nothing is ever just fashion. Want to know why certain colors can make or break a political narrative? The evidence is hidden in plain sight. The psychology of color in political fashion tells its own fascinating story. Traditional power colors, navy, black, and gray, have dominated Washington's aesthetic for generations, creating a sea of somber sophistication that speaks to stability and authority. When Hillary Clinton dared to break this mold with her rainbow of pantsuits, it wasn't just a fashion choice, it was a declaration of independence from political norms. But what happens when someone like Usha Vance, known for her measured approach to public life, suddenly emerges in attention-grabbing pink? The implications rippled through the political establishment. Inauguration fashion carries particular weight in this visual political language. These aren't just photo opportunities, they are moments when fashion choices become part of the historical record, carefully preserved in presidential libraries and endlessly analyzed by future generations. Remember how Dr. Jill Biden's ocean blue ensemble in 2021 spoke to hope and healing? Or how Kamala Harris's the purple coat signaled unity and bipartisanship? These weren't random choices, they were carefully orchestrated visual statements about leadership values and the direction of the nation. As we've watched the evolution of political fashion, one thing becomes crystal clear: the most powerful statements often come from those who understand how to subvert expectations while maintaining authenticity. In a world where every outfit is scrutinized and every color choice dissected, the ability to communicate through clothing has become an essential political skill. But what makes Usher's inauguration choice particularly intriguing isn't just its boldness, it's how it fits into a larger narrative about power, representation, and the changing face of American politics. As the whispers about Usher's perfectly calibrated fashion evolution echoed through Washington's halls, it was time to unpack the moment that had everyone gasping: a bubblegum pink statement that wasn't just breaking fashion norms, it was shattering political expectations. But what made this particular choice send shockwaves through the political establishment? The answer lies in the details that transformed her outfit into a powerful declaration of intent. The bubblegum pink revolution. Against the backdrop of Washington's traditional sea of dark suits and muted tones, January 20, 2025, was set to be another predictable display of political pageantry. But when Usher stepped onto the inaugural stage, the collective gasp was audible. There, amidst the somber blacks and navy blues of the political elite, stood the new Second Lady in a statement-making bubblegum pink Oscar de la Renta ensemble that would soon have everyone questioning, was this a fashion choice or a carefully orchestrated power move? The creation itself was a masterpiece of political messaging through fashion. The structured silhouette, with its precisely tailored lines and modern interpretation of classic grace, spoke to Usher's legal background while hinting at something more revolutionary. Expert observers quickly noted how the shade, not pale pink, not hot pink, but an assertive bubblegum hue, seemed chosen specifically for its ability to command attention without crossing into audacity. The cut, meanwhile, maintained the sophistication expected of a second lady while slyly breaking from convention. Want to know what made this look particularly revolutionary? The details tell a fascinating story. Social media erupted within minutes of her appearance. "A breath of fresh air in Washington," declared one fashion editor. "Bold, brave, and absolutely brilliant," tweeted another. But it wasn't just the fashion world taking notice. Political analysts began dissecting every aspect of the ensemble, from the symbolism of the color to the timing of such a dramatic departure from her typically understated style. The Oscar de la Renta choice itself carried weight. The designer, long associated with American political fashion, had dressed first ladies from Jackie Kennedy to Jill Biden, but never quite like this. The contrast with her surroundings made the statement even more powerful. Standing beside her husband, whose traditional dark suit blended seamlessly with the political landscape, Usher's pink ensemble created a visual narrative impossible to ignore. Fashion historians quickly drew parallels to other memorable political fashion moments: Jackie Kennedy's pink suit, Michelle Obama's burgundy inauguration look, but noted something distinctly different about Usher's choice. This wasn't just about standing out, it was about standing apart. The accessories told their own subtle story. A pair of elegant pearl earrings nodded to political tradition, while modern metallic heels suggested forward momentum. Her clutch, in a matching pink shade, featured subtle golden hardware that caught the light with every movement. But what really captured attention was how she carried herself, with a quiet confidence that transformed bold fashion into something more, a declaration of intent. The message was clear: this second lady wouldn't be confined to the shadows of political spouse expectations. Media coverage exploded across platforms, with fashion magazines rushing to decode every aspect of the ensemble. Vogue praised its revolutionary elegance, while political commentators debated its implications. The New York Times ran a front-page story analyzing how this single fashion choice might signal a shift in political spouse dynamics. But perhaps most telling were the reactions from young women across social media who saw in Usher's bold choice a permission slip to be both powerful and unapologetically feminine in traditionally conservative spaces. As photographs circulated and commentary multiplied, one question kept surfacing: how does a woman known for understated elegance suddenly emerge as fashion's most talked about political figure? The answer, fashion insiders suggested, lay not just in the pink ensemble itself, but in the careful cultivation of a personal brand that had been building to this very moment. This wasn't just a dress, it was a carefully choreographed step onto a bigger stage. As the bubblegum pink ensemble continues to captivate imaginations worldwide, a deeper question emerges: what hidden messages lie within this carefully orchestrated fashion revolution? From color psychology to cultural symbolism, Usher's inauguration moment was more than a bold choice, it was a masterclass in the evolving language of political power. The look wasn't just making headlines, it was rewriting the rules of political power dressing. But to truly understand its impact, we need to decode the subtle signals that transformed a single fashion choice into a cultural watershed moment. Reading between the fashion lines. In the complex theater of political fashion, colors aren't just choices, they're weapons of mass communication. When Usher stepped out in that headline-making bubblegum pink, she wasn't just wearing a color, she was wielding a powerful psychological tool that has fascinated experts and captivated audiences worldwide. But what makes this particular shade so significant in the corridors of power? The answer lies deeper than anyone initially imagined. Fashion psychologists and political analysts have been working overtime to decode the layers of meaning behind Usher's bold choice. Pink, particularly in its bubblegum iteration, carries complex cultural significance, explains Dr. Sarah Mitchell, a leading expert in political fashion psychology. It's traditionally associated with femininity and softness, but when used in a power context, it becomes something entirely different, a statement of confidence and defiance. Could this be why the color choice sent such shock waves through Washington's traditionally monochrome landscape? The timing of this chromatic revolution proves equally fascinating, coming from a woman known for her measured approach to public life. Remember those carefully chosen neutral tones during the campaign, asks political image consultant James Harrison. This sudden embrace of such an attention-grabbing shade speaks volumes. Usher hasn't just chosen a color, she's chosen a moment to declare her presence on the national stage. But was this declaration years in the making? The evidence suggests a masterfully orchestrated visual strategy. Breaking from her signature palette of navy blues, grays, and muted blacks wasn't just a fashion pivot, it was a power move still reverberating through political circles. Fashion historians draw parallels to other memorable color choices in political history, but note there is something distinctly different about Usher's approach. Unlike previous bold color statements in politics, this one feels less like a reaction and more like a declaration, observes veteran fashion journalist Maria Torres. It's as if she's not just stepping into the spotlight, she's redefining it on her own terms. A deeper cultural statement. The cultural implications of Usher's pink power play run even deeper than its psychological impact. As the daughter of Telugu-speaking immigrants, her bold color choice carries additional layers of meaning that many observers initially missed. In many South Asian cultures, bright colors aren't just fashion choices, they're expressions of joy, confidence, and celebration, notes cultural fashion expert Dr. Maya Patel. Usher's choice might be speaking to multiple audiences simultaneously, bridging cultural narratives in a way that's never been done before on such a significant political stage. But is there more to this cultural convergence than meets the eye? The fashion world has been particularly fascinated by how this moment challenges traditional power dressing paradigms. For decades, women in politics have been told to blend in, to adopt the masculine palette of blacks and navies, explains renowned fashion editor Charlotte Webb. What Usher's done here is revolutionary. She's taken a color often dismissed as feminine or frivolous and transformed it into a tool of power. Social media analytics reveal that mentions of pink power suits skyrocketed by 500% in the days following the inauguration, suggesting a potential shift in how future generations might approach political fashion. A movement takes shape. Want to know what makes this trend particularly significant? The answer lies in who's paying attention. Young women across America have been particularly moved by this bold statement. College student groups report organizing Pink Power dress days, while professional women share stories of feeling emboldened to bring more color into traditionally conservative workplaces. It's not just about the pink, says professional image consultant Lisa Rodriguez. It's about the permission this gives women to be fully themselves in spaces where they've historically been told to dim their light. The ripple effects are being felt in unexpected places, from law firms to tech companies, where dress codes are being subtly but significantly challenged. Perhaps most intriguingly, political insiders suggest this fashion moment might be signaling something bigger on the horizon. When a political spouse makes such a calculated departure from tradition, it often precedes a larger shift in their public role, notes veteran political analyst James Morrison. Could this pink statement be laying the groundwork for future ambitions? Those who have followed Usher's methodical career trajectory note that nothing in her public presentation has ever been left to chance. Every choice, every detail seems part of a larger strategy that's only now beginning to reveal itself. As the world dissects every stitch and shade of Usher's pink power play, a bigger story is emerging, one that suggests this fashion moment might be more than just a bold departure from tradition. Could this carefully orchestrated visual statement be setting the stage for a new chapter in American political history? The whispers in Washington's corridors suggest this second lady's story is far from over. The show-stopping pink moment has insiders suggesting that we might be witnessing the early stages of something extraordinary. As Washington's power players analyze every detail of her calculated transformation, one question keeps surfacing: was this fashion statement actually a declaration of future intentions? The evidence points to a masterfully orchestrated evolution that's only beginning to unfold. Political strategists note how this moment mirrors the early stages of other powerful political transitions. When someone known for careful calculation makes such a bold public statement, it's rarely just about the present, observes veteran campaign consultant Maria Hernandez. Could Usher's pink power play be laying the groundwork for her own political aspirations? Those who have tracked her methodical career trajectory, from Supreme Court clerk to potential political force, see patterns that suggest bigger moves ahead. The timing feels particularly significant. As America's political landscape continues evolving, Usher's unique combination of legal expertise, cultural bridge building, and now commanding public presence positions her perfectly for what many speculate could be her own political emergence. She's masterfully crafted an image that appeals across traditional boundaries, notes political analyst James Morrison. The pink ensemble wasn't just about standing out, it was about standing ready. But perhaps most intriguingly, sources close to the second lady hint at strategic meetings and carefully planned public appearances in key political states. Is this the beginning of a new chapter in American political history? As one senior advisor cryptically suggests, sometimes the boldest statements come wrapped in the softest colors. Want to know what makes this moment truly significant? The answer might lie not in what we've seen, but in what's yet to come. As the ripples of Usha Vance's pink power play continue to reverberate through Washington's corridors, one thing becomes crystal clear: in the high-stakes world of political fashion, sometimes the boldest revolutions come wrapped in the softest shades of bubblegum pink. Usha Vance's pink power play wasn't just a fashion statement, it was a bold declaration of intent. As America watches her rise, one thing is certain: this second lady is rewriting the rules of political influence. Stay tuned, because her story is far from over. Like, subscribe, and join us as we uncover what's next.